As Bertrand Russell has rightly quoted that war does not determine that who is right but who is left. Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today we are going to discuss an important topic. The title of today's topic is Kargil Vijay Divas, its history and significance. And this topic is important from GS1, GS2 and GS4 perspective because it can also come under history, polity and ethics. Moving to the points of discussion part, first of all, we will discuss the news that on which day Kargil Vijay Divas is celebrated, then its long history, results and significance, that why this thing is important and significant after 24 years, practice question for prelims and mains. Here I will teach you that how to use this information for your mains examination. Moving to the news part. So before going into the deep discussion, first of all, we will know that why war should be avoided. As Sahir Ludhianvi has rightly quoted that जंग क्या मसलों को हल देगी, जंग तो खुद ही एक मसला है, which means that how an issue will give solution to another issue, because jang, which is war, is itself an issue. So on 26th of July 1999, India has won the triumph over Pakistani army, and the day is marked for the bravery and sacrifice of the Indian soldiers. And today we are going to celebrate 24th anniversary of the Kargil Vijay Divas. So this is the brief news. Moving to the next slide. So what is the history? So its history is not just related to the formation of Bangladesh, or it has a huge long history, and it has started from partition itself. And we all know that in 1947, India and Pakistan, there are two countries divided, and the both country has lost its mutual respect to each other, and we can see that there is a mutual hatred, rivalry between the both countries, and the feeling became intense when there was a liberation of Bangladesh in 1971. And in this liberation, India's role is very significant, and at that time in 1971, Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, and Indira Gandhi has openly said that East Pakistan, that this is a Bangladesh. And she has traveled to many of the Western countries where she has advocated and made realization to the world that, Pakistani army is doing atrocities with the East Pakistani people. And this thing has been acknowledged on the world level, and various of the world organization has also recognized India's effort in the Bangladesh liberation. So this is the role India has provided, and another role India has provided, that it has opened its gates for the Bengali refugee. So this has developed the people to people connect. So here India has not just assisted in military sense, it has also assisted Bangladeshi people in the emotional front or in the personal front. So this is the India's contribution to the formation of Bangladesh. But Pakistan saw itself as a intimidation by the India, and Pakistan has alleged that Indian government and Indian people is provoking the Pakistani people to rebel against its own government. So this is the allegation by the Pakistan. Moving to the second point, which is nuclear test in 1998. So in 1998, not just India, Pakistan has also conducted the nuclear test, and which has resulted the global uproar and nuclear race between the both countries. After that, there was a peace agreement which is known as Lahore Declaration in February 1999, and through this declaration, both countries has mutually agreed that they will not indulge in nuclear arm race, and they will respect each other's territorial integrity. So this is the Lahore Declaration. Moving to the next slide. So after that, this story didn't end, and during the winter 1998 to 1999, Pakistan has covertly prepared its army near the LOC area, and where this area is, so this area is in Dras, Batalik sectors of Kargil area of Ladakh region. And what's their objective? So their objective is to gain control over both militarily and the civilian movement, because there was few section in India who were supporting Pakistan, and there were more section who were supporting India's effort towards Pakistan. So this is the conflict, and there was civilian movement rising. There were mutual hatred. There were so many rebels from Indian sides who were against the India's effort. So these kind of civilian movements are backed by the Pakistan. Moving to the next slide. which is so what happened after that? Earlier India thought that this is a terrorist attack and so many terrorists are gathered around the LOC area, but later India realized that this is not a terrorist infiltration, this is a planned and organized event by the Pakistani army or Pakistani government. And later India also decided to retaliate, and India retaliated along with the 2 lakhs of Indian troops near the region. So this is the story of the retaliation and the story of Kargil war. Moving to the next slide. So what is the results and significance? So we already know that war has always a negative impact, and it impacts people not just physically but also the mentally and economically and socially also. And in this war, what we have seen that nearly 527 people died from Indian side, and from Pakistan nearly 350 to 450 people died. So this is the death of the people, but it has a more emotional and mental impact all over the India and also in the Pakistan. And in this war, we have also lost the Captain Vikram Batra, who has been awarded Paramveer Chakra, which is the highest gallantry award given to any military person. So here, this is not, we are just counting the numbers that how many people died from Indian side and how many people died from the Pakistan side. The war's significance still today, and after that we have seen that there were many movies, films, dramas, plays, poetries, books have been written on the Kargil wars and the bravery of the Kargil soldiers. And this has become the part of popular tradition of India. And we can see today's also that Sher Shah movie was created, Kargil movie was created, LOC was there, Lakshya was there. So after a time, youths of India were united and they were so much aware about the bravery of Indian soldiers, and so many youths were attracted towards this soldier job and they also wanted to join the army. So this tradition has been developed after that war, and in this sense this thing is very important and the war holds significance. But we always know that war has a negative impact and no country should promote war and they should not indulge in any kind of war. Recently what we are seeing in Russia and Ukraine, this is not a war kind of situation. This could be avoided because today we are here to save the humanity, not to harm the humanity. So this is the significance of the war, and this should not be glorified. We can glorify the bravery of our soldiers, but the war should not be glorified, because at the end war who has ended both sides, not just Indian side but also the Pakistan side. So this is the brief history. Moving to the next slide, which is question. Operation Vijay is related to curb the Khalistani movement in Punjab. Second is to stop Pakistani forces and Kashmiri militants from infiltrating the Kargil area. C is to curb Maoists from Chhattisgarh, to curb illegal trafficking of humans in Uttar Pradesh. So you have to answer this in the comment section. Moving to the mains part. So your question is, can war be ethically justified? Discuss the moral principle related to war. So similar question have also come 2 years back. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to introduce war here. A brief introduction you can give here, that what is war, and then they are saying that can war ethically justified, then you have to say that in time of necessity, in time of actual cause, it can be justified. And how it can be justified? So in the body part, you can give the example of Bhagavad Gita. That Indian scripture said that, in that scripture, what Krishna is saying to Arjuna, that in order to triumph over the dharma, you have to defy the adharma and you have to end the adharma. And here dharma does not mean religion. Here dharma means duty. And why Mahabharata was there? First, because in order to protect the dignity of the Draupadi or a woman. And the second is that Kauravas didn't want to compromise at all. They were not giving even the 5 villages. So the Arjuna has to carry the arms in front of his own brother. So in this sense, the war is justified. So this can be the starting of your answer. And the second thing, you can give various theories related to war. The first theory is that just bellum, which means war should be created and war should be justified on the basis of the right intention and right cause. So there should be the right cause for the war. You can also give the example of Uri attack, Balakot air strike, that India's intention was very good and its intention was not to harm the Pakistani military and Pakistani people. So here you can defy with such examples. And the second thing is that, just at below. So what just below says that unauthorized means should not be used in the war. And the third theory is that, the enemy and the opposition should always be respected. And India has respected always its opposition. And you can also give the example of Shimla Agreement. So these examples can help to build your answer. And in conclusion, you have to write that war is never a solution to any problem. And at the end, we should always avoid war. And war should be the last resort to opt for. And for the sake of humanity, for the sake of love, and for the sake of mutual respect, war should be avoided. And you can also quote the example of Syria, Iran, Iraq, Russia and Ukraine is a recent example where war could be avoided, but they are not mutually agreeing to one stance. So this is the reason there is a war kind of situation in Russia and Ukraine, and many of the European countries and many of the Arabian countries, Islamic countries are fighting. So this thing can build your answer, and the PDF of this whole PPT is available on Telegram channel. I hope you like this lecture. If you have any queries related to this lecture, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.